Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Joy-Filled Universe podcast. I am your host, Lisa Ryan, who is back from a super lovely 3-day weekend away, and I'm just feeling my best self. I'm on a super high vibe, and I'm just feeling so happy and filled with joy. And the reason I'm going to have to believe is because I was at a lovely wedding this past weekend for a dear friend who is such a sweet, kind, and loving human. Oh my gosh. And I have to say, seeing someone who I really appreciate find their special someone who they truly love, and that special someone just loves them back in the same way or even more, it absolutely warms my heart. It truly does. And I will also add that I believe my wedding weekend love high vibe was also raised even more because of the location that I was in. I have never been to this place before. It was this little town called Tawas, Michigan, and it's located right on one of the Great Lakes known as Lake Huron. And here in the United States, we have five Great Lakes. It's, I'm going to try to name them: Ontario, Huron, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, and Lake Michigan. Did I say that? Michigan, Superior, Huron, Ontario, Erie. Yeah, Lake Erie. I think that's one I missed the first time around. Anyway, there you go. There's 5 Great Lakes here in the United States. And I was next to Lake Huron in this adorable town called Tawas, Michigan. And it was just the sweetest little place because I'm going to think, first of all, there were no chain stores or chain restaurants, hotels, gas stations, banks, nothing. It was largely just filled with adorable mom and pop shops. And everything was just kind of a little throwback to, I'm going to say, the 1950s era. That's kind of the feel it was going for, because there were cute little diners and candy shops and like ice cream parlors and hot dog stands. It was right on the beach, so people were riding their bikes, and there was like this cute little movie theater with all those little like bubble lights that you see come down on the sign. You know what I'm talking about? But the movie theater like had one screen inside, and it only played 2 movies total. So it was super cute, super quaint. And then there was like these little like shops, these just little knickknack shops all about, and even an art gallery that was it was stocked and run by all local artists. So very sweet. And even like this adorable chamber of commerce. I mean, it was just the cutest place. And to top it off, the people, everybody in the town was just so nice. They would wave from their cars, literally wave from their cars as if they know you. They would hold doors. They would give you a helping hand. They would say hello, and they would make eye contact with you. It was just so many lovely, genuine human connections, and I was totally here for it. I loved it. And I'm going to add one more thing, and I promise I'm going to stop gushing about this sweet little town. But I think aside from all the lovely human energy, the energy from Mother Earth, as well as the being by the water and the sunshine, and of course the moon energy, aside from all of that, what I appreciated was the fact that very few people were glued to their mobile devices, and that's self included, which I'm always with my phone. But the fact that I didn't even remember to bring my phone many times was a dream. I'm going to say when we were out eating, there was not a phone in sight. People were dining together and enjoying each other's company. People were out on bicycles. They were playing in the water. They were on jet skis, motorboats, sailboats, reading books on the beach, building sandcastles. People were just out walking, running. There were beautiful places to go hiking. It was just everything outside in the sunshine, getting grounded in the earth and not paying any attention to any other world except the one that we were all engaged in at that very moment. And just that, I have to believe, really amplified everything else, being present and removing distractions and enjoying the now. I was just so grateful. I was so grateful for this past weekend. It was amazing. I'm going to believe it's also because I just haven't had a break in a long time. So there's probably a little bit of that too. But all joking aside, I believe it was just a truly lovely weekend because literally all the stars absolutely aligned for me. So I'm happy and I'm feeling awesome. And that's it. I'm no more gushing about this adorable little town, Tawas, Michigan. And we're going to get busy on today's episode. So while I was en route and looking forward to an amazing trip, I was thinking about some conversations that I was having with some of my friends prior to departure. And I had been telling them about some of my very easy ways that I raise my vibe with little to no effort. Because let's face it, we are all super busy. So sometimes creating a vision board or writing a gratitude list or free writing in a journal, meditating, whatever practice you choose for quieting your mind and raising your vibe, these can always be overcome in many instances based on your schedule by the random activities and events of any given day. And that is why I am always up for exploring ways that we can raise our vibe without even trying. So I was sharing some of my very simple and easy tools with my friends, and they were like, oh, send me that link. And oh my God, I'm totally on board with that. I want to try that. Where did you get the product? So the vibe was there, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a podcast, because if my friends are picking up what I'm putting down, maybe my pod audience will as well. So today, I'm really excited to share with you some easy ways to build a high vibe and raise your frequencies in all the best ways so you can live your best life with little to no effort. Now, I'm going to also say that I have read about these little products. I'm using them myself, and I think that they are truly working for me, whether it's just feeling extra happy or manifesting desires at a super rapid rate. I'm not kidding, at a super rapid rate. And I can tell you about that. I mean, really simple. I'm just going to tangent real fast. I rent an extra parking space in my condo complex because parking in the DC metro area is a hot commodity. So I rent an extra parking space for anybody that comes to visit me. That said, I was coming up on the end of a lease, and I didn't really love the space that I was renting at that point in time. And God bless poor Michael, he got hit twice by the lady who parks next to that spot. So I was just like, okay, right, I don't want to put any more vehicles up for grabs. So I was just praying, like, please let a spot come available, which they don't. And I wanted it for August 1st. And it was like, I think it was like the 27th of July. Anyway, random. I just decided quickly during the workday, which I never do, to pull up my personal phone, and I looked on my building virtual bulletin board. Sure enough, there was a spot available. I was like, ooh. So I looked up the guy's phone number, and I had already messaged him like 6 or 7 months ago because he had the spot open, and he was asking for way too much money. So I was like, and I thought, why not? Did something told me just ping him again. So I pinged him again, and I offered what I wanted to pay. And sure enough, in like a day, he pinged me back, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, oh my God. And I went and checked out the spot. It is an awesome spot. Great location, right near the elevators. I mean, you can't beat it. I'm like, yes. And so right on time, by August 1st, I was able to release my old spot and pick up the new spot, like legit. And I had only asked the universe for that probably a day prior. So all that to say, that was an easy one, but I have so many more examples, but that's not what the pod is about today. So I want to just get going because I'm super pumped to share these products with all of you. And I just want to say too, you be the judge, right? You be the judge and let yourself decide. And if you do try any of these products, please let me know what ones you're trying and how they're working for you, because I love getting that kind of feedback. And just, you can send it to me any way you want. You can send it on my Instagram, which is Joy-Filled Universe. You can send it to me via, I know there's that little message saying send us a text. Send me that. I get that message direct. So I'd love to hear what you're trying. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. If it's not about Tawas, Michigan, I'm just rambling about how incredible these little products are. And I'm excited to share with you because, again, you can do this and not even have to think about it. Okay. And that's the name of the game today. You can be lazy, not feel like doing your meditating and your journaling and whatever that is. And you can still be manifesting and raising your vibe. And I'm here for that. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about today is fabrics. Yes, I'm not kidding. fabrics. Think about our lives and how aligned we are to all types of fabrics, whether it's the clothes that we wear, the towels that we use when we're getting out of the shower, the bedding that we sleep on, the cozy blanket that we choose to wrap ourselves in whilst on the sofa and binging our favorite Netflix show. You name it. Fabrics are all around us in many types of ways. And according to spiritual, energetic, and holistic wellness communities, fabric vibrates at varying frequencies. Yes. So we have spoken about vibrational frequencies, high vibe being awesome and low vibe being not as awesome, but definitely a starting point to raise. So with that in mind, we are going to go through some fabrics that will likely be familiar to you. And I'm going to let you know what their vibrational frequencies happen to be. And really quick, as just a baseline, the human body is said to vibrate at 62 to 100 megahertz, and 100 being like optimal health, like crushing it, like out there just living your best life. And say you got like the sniffles, you got a bad cold or something like that, then you're like vibrating around like 58 megahertz. So yeah, 62 to 100 is like, the sweet spot. So that's the human body. Now let's talk about fabrics. Polyester, right? We probably all have stuff made of this fabric. And guess what? It has a frequency of 0 megahertz. Yeah, it's a synthetic fiber and is also said to be, well, this sounds a little dreary, but it's energetically, air quotes, dead. And it may even lower our own body frequency because it's 0 megahertz. And from there, yeah, nylon and acrylic. Well, both of these, like polyester, are synthetic, and they too are also both at 0 megahertz. Yeah. And apparently prolonged exposure to synthetics like polyester, nylon, and acrylic, well, it may strain your body's energy field and potentially lead to like discomfort and fatigue. Okay, good to know. Now, let's keep moving. Silk. I'm sure you, like me, you're probably thinking, oh, silk. Well, I'm sure that's a high vibe, right? Wrong. Silk also has a low vibe of 10 to 15 megahertz. Now, it may be natural, sure, but it's still a relatively low frequency, and it seems that it can also absorb energy from the person who's wearing it, hence potentially disrupting the high vibe energy flow. Okay, now we're going to move on to cotton. Okay, but there's two types of cotton. There's regular cotton and there's organic cotton. So we're getting a little bit higher here. So regular cotton is about 40 megahertz, and it seems to be lower than organic, largely just due to the processing that goes on for regular cotton. And then we have organic cotton, which measures in at 100 megahertz. And since it slightly exceeds or can exceed the body's frequency, it is said to provide supporting comfort and energetic balance. Okay, organic cotton, I see you. Now I'm going to move on to my new favorite, which I'm going to say, if I could wrap myself in this fabric every single day, I would be living my best life. And so that fabric is, and I think you're going to be surprised because I certainly was, the fabric is linen. Yes, linen. 100% pure linen has a frequency that measures at, are you ready for this? Are you ready? 5,000 megahertz. Yes, 5,000 megahertz. Linen is considered to be a super fabric due to its high frequency and the belief that it enhances energy and reduces stress. And because its frequency far exceeds that of the human body, it is said that it boosts our energy and our vitality and, of course, our vibe. I also want to add here that linen is matched only by wool, which also has around a 5,000 megahertz frequency, right? So linen, 5,000 megahertz, wool, 5,000 megahertz. So I'm going to stay on linen for just a little bit longer because I was stunned. And I do love linen. I have some linen clothes, especially in the summertime. So I wanted to pull that thread and find out, why is it such an incredible fabric? And here is what I found out. Linen is made from the flax plant, which is one of the oldest cultivated plants in the world. And since it is a plant-based and biodegradable fabric, it carries the pure grounding energy of nature. Also, the ancient Egyptians wore linen for its life-giving properties, and the Egyptian priests often wore it because it was thought to ward off negative energy and promote higher consciousness. And another thing is ancient healers in general loved to use this with their patients because it was seen as a living fabric due to its natural antibacterial, breathable, and cooling properties. Yes. Okay, linen. Now let's talk about the high frequency that comes with it. So high frequency materials are believed to support elevated states of being, providing clarity, peace, and spiritual alignment. And I just want to say too, as I quickly noted before, wool. Okay, so wool also has a high vibrational frequency, which is around 5,000 megahertz. However, the difference between wool and linen is the energetic effect. So linen is said to have a more cooling and calming vibe, while wool has a more warming and stimulating vibe. And according to some cultural traditions, mixing linen and wool was not preferred because it is said that it could neutralize the fabric benefits and drop the combined frequency to 0. So I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be looking to mix those two together. And I'm going to go through my closet later because if I have any linen and wool blends, I think I'm going to have to get rid of those. Okay, just a little sidebar. All right, now I'm also going to share a few more things that I have learned. Linen is extremely breathable, and it's temperature regulating, making it energetically light on your body, hence supporting a sense of calm, which is really the key towards raising our vibration. And because it's natural, linen is believed to hold less residual energy compared to synthetic fibers. It can repel static energy as well as help to, and this is incredible, it can actually also help to shield us from electromagnetic fields like the ongoing EMF waves that we often find in our homes, most specifically, whether it be your Wi-Fi routers or any of the electronics in your homes. So now with all of this in mind, I thought to myself, I cannot go out and buy a whole brand new wardrobe just full of linen. No, but what I did decide to do is I decided to purchase a lovely set of 100% pure linen sheets for my bed. Yes, I am obsessed and I love them. I also feel like I'm wrapping myself up each night in a high vibrational material that, from a holistic perspective, just resonates at a healing frequency. It supports and amplifies my body's own natural energy field, and it's bringing me to a more balanced state, helping to calm stress and regulate my nervous system. And it is so simple. I don't have to think about it. I just have to climb into bed and go to sleep. It's a dream, literally. And if you're thinking to yourself, I need linen sheets too, which is exactly what my friends had been saying, I am going to go ahead and leave the link in my show notes for the sheets that I personally purchased. They come in all sizes and colors. I purchased the natural linen color and I'm just in love. And honestly, I'm going to say, I feel like I sleep straight through every night, where many times I would often wake up or I'd be thinking about things. I have been, since I've had these sheets on my bed, sleeping straight through. And it's been a solid 4 weeks now, and I absolutely love them. So give them a try and let me know. The link is in my show notes. All right, now moving right along, another really awesome product is my incredible, adorable, most beautiful crystal water bottle. Oh, yes. First of all, let me be a big reminder to all of us about that Dr. Emoto water study, right? Do you recall that? And if not, I'm just going to give you a quick refresh, very quick refresh. It was the study where they put they put water in different rooms in different light classes. And in one room, it's like the positivity room. People would go in there and they say all kinds of lovely things to the water. And then in the other room, it was like the negativity room. And people would go in there and they would say all sorts of horrible things to the water. Well, then they froze the water after a duration of time, took it out, and they examined the crystals that formed from each of these samples. And from the positive water, it was like beautiful, symmetrical, like crystal clear colored crystals. And on the negative side, it was like asymmetrical, just dark, like a dark gray, distorted looking crystal results. So that was enough to sell me, right? Okay. I also want to remind everyone that our bodies are made up of 60% water, and water is an incredible conductor of energy. So when we place an energetic charged crystal into our water that we are drinking, we are giving it an energetic imprint. Now, I just want to stop for 1 second before I go any further, and I want to highlight, underscore, bold font the fact that not all crystals are safe for direct water contact. No, the safest and most common choices are crystals from the quartz family. So clear quartz, rose quartz, citrine, smoky quartz, amethyst, all are really great options. These crystals are non-toxic, they're durable, and they amplify the vibration of whatever they touch. And a good rule of thumb here is avoid crystals that have names ending in "ite," like malachite, fluorite, celestite, because many of these types of crystals can release harmful substances when they're submersed in water, and they can also actually get damaged by the water themselves. So just stay away from them. Stay with the quartz family. I believe that's going to be your best bet. And there are also magical crystals in the quartz family, so it's a win-win. Now, my crystal water bottle is glass, and it is really cool because the top and the bottom are stainless steel, and they both are removable, which is awesome for the sake of cleaning the water bottle and ensuring that my crystal also stays nice and clean. And so this crystal infused water isn't just pretty to look at. No, from a holistic perspective, the water is highly receptive in absorbing the energy from the crystal, which then aligns to the energy of our body with the intention of that crystal. So in a sense, we are establishing kind of a hydration mindfulness ritual, if you will, because we are drinking with purpose, largely because we are aligned with our intentions whilst drinking in love and calmness. So every sip we take from our crystal water bottle is like a small act of self-care and self-love that is just raising our vibration and bringing all of our desires into our reality. And I love that. Who doesn't want that in their life? And it's super simple. And oh, by the way, you're staying hydrated, which is always a necessity in life. I'm just going to say it makes the world go round. When I stay hydrated, I always feel awesome. So for me, I'm just going to say I was torn. I didn't know whether to go with clear quartz because clear quartz is like such a super amplifier. So if you're setting your intentions with that crystal and then drinking in those intentions and that vibration, it's pretty magical. But then there's also citrine, and I do love citrine for so many reasons. So I did ultimately go with citrine. It's truly the sunshine stone. So every time I drink out of my water bottle, I feel as though I'm literally drinking in the energetic imprint of the water, which is infused with the citrine energy of joy, happiness, success, wealth, and prosperity. Yes. This is such a simple and fun way to bring high vibe energy just effortlessly into our everyday life. And I'm going to also make sure that I leave that link in my show notes just in case you're interested in checking out this incredible water bottle for yourself. And this vendor too, they have multiple types of crystals in the water bottles available. So you can really kind of search your crystal, see what intention you want, and then go with that stone. I love it. I'll leave the link in my show notes. Let me know if you get it. Let me know how it works out. All right, now moving right along. Another thing that I have brought into my environment has been essential oils. Oh my, the sense of smell is directly wired to our limbic system. Yes, which can also be referred to as the emotional brain. And the reason why is because it has a significant influence on our emotions and behaviors, which means from a holistic and spiritual context, a scent processed by our limbic system can instantly shift our vibration. Now, I love delicious aromas personally. I just love a good smell. And I thought to myself, what is a scent that I could bring into my home that would have a high vibe effect? So I did a little research, and it turns out that one of the highest vibrational essential oils is rose oil with a frequency of around 320 megahertz. So just breathing it in can just lift feelings of sadness, open our hearts, and help us feel more connected to love and joy. And I also discovered that other high vibe oils can include frankincense, which is grounding yet expansive and often is used in lots of spiritual practices, and it vibrates at 147 megahertz. Lavender too, right? I love lavender. In fact, I have a little bushel of natural lavender that's always next to my bed because it just smells so good. And lavender is a calming, balancing, and soothing scent, and it helps our nervous system, and it vibrates at 118 megahertz. And then there's also chamomile, which is soothing and peaceful at 105 megahertz. And I kind of feel like, come to think of it, that lemon should be in there somewhere too, but I didn't research lemon, but I'm going to have to do that and see if that has any vibrational frequency, because I do love that crisp, fresh citrus scent of lemon as well. So anyway, I personally purchased a really lovely organic rose oil, 100% organic rose oil. And I also picked up an ultrasonic diffuser, which does not have any heat associated with it. You don't want heat, because what that will do is it will alter the state of your oil. And something that I do love to do, I'm just going to say this really quick before I turn on my lovely diffuser. I will open my back door, and I'm using air quotes here because I live in a condo, so I don't really have a back door. So I open the door to my balcony, and I tell all negativity, all negative energy that may have been just like compounding in my home. I literally open the door and say, get out. And I allow my home to fill with clean, fresh air first. And then once I've allowed for a good duration of time for all that negativity to just see you later out the back door, and then I bring in all kinds of clear, fresh energy into my home, I then get out my little diffuser and I put about 4 to 5 drops of my organic rose oil into the water, because you actually fill it first with water. There's a reservoir, and then I just add my 4 to 5 drops of oil. You don't need a lot of it. And then I turn it on and enjoy the lovely rose scent that lightly perfumes the air in my home. And it is so good. It makes a big difference. It's so calming. I love sitting on my sofa at the end of a day and just letting that delicious perfumed air raise my vibe, honestly. And I do a little EFT tapping, which is a pod for another day. It's amazing. And I also just want to message too quickly, a little housekeeping side note here, because it's important. When you clean your diffuser, make sure that you dry it out completely. You clean it per the manufacturer directions and just let it air dry for a little bit, because you don't want any mold forming in there. Nah, we don't want any of that. And so when I'm not using my diffuser, I empty it, I clean it, and then I let it air dry. And when I know it's been out for maybe a day or two and it's nice and dry, I then put it away so that it's nice and clean for the next time I use it. And I totally love it, not just because it smells good, because it is effortlessly raising my vibe in my home and making my home literally like a high vibe sanctuary. And I'm here for that. All right. I do have another little bonus here with regards to my diffuser. I'm not going to lie. This is a good one because I bought one that changes colors. Or you can just choose for it to stay on one constant color. And that said, if you really want to zhuzh up your atmosphere, I looked up some high vibe colors, and those include pink, which promotes unconditional love and compassion, yellow, which is joy, confidence, and optimism, blue, which is calm, peace, and tranquility, or just white, which is clarity, spiritual connection, and cleansing. So colors aren't just for decoration, people. No, they are energy in visible form. And each color has its own way of just shifting our mood and our mindset in mere seconds. So there we are. And now one more, last but not least, I'm going to bring this pod full circle to the beginning of this episode. And I'm just going to say, when I was up in Tawas, Michigan, I believe that the special sauce that made the weekend over the top magical was the time that I spent outside in nature. Yes, taking grounding walks or just simply taking time to eat lunch outside on a bench in nature is truly one of, if not the most accessible and free vibrational boosters that we can have at our fingertips at all times. When we allow ourselves to physically engage with nature, like tossing off our shoes and sinking our toes into the earth, or even running our hands through sand or lush grass or smooth soil, or how about filling our lungs with the air that has been freshly cleaned by all of the lush green trees that surround us, while feeling the incredible warm sunshine on our skin and listening to the super sweet sounds of nature. It is just incredible. And doing these things are literally connecting our body to the Earth's electromagnetic field, along with the radiant energy from the sun and the moon and the stars. And even if we do this for just a short time during our day, we are naturally reducing stress and restoring balance and harmony to our bodies, and definitely raising our vibe, because nature has a way of reminding us that abundance is all around us. And it also shows us that we are definitely part of something bigger, wiser, and deeply loving. So get out in nature, even if it's just for a bit of time a day. Regardless of where you are, you can enjoy Mother Earth anywhere, and it's incredible. And there you have it. That is it. Those are my simple, easy ways to raise our vibes with little to no effort. So whether it's drifting off to dreamland in high vibe linen bedding, or hydrating ourselves with crystal kissed water, enjoying the delightful aroma of beautiful roses coupled with lovely uplifting colors, or simply spending some time outside with Mother Earth and the incredible celestial bodies of the sky, these simple things can help to keep our hearts open to receiving all of the joy and blessings that the universe is so happy to deliver into our reality all the time. So if you're interested in any of the products that I mentioned today, excluding, of course, the engagement with the great outdoors, because that is absolutely free and highly recommended, but the rest, I'm going to go ahead and leave them in my show notes for you to explore. And that is a wrap for this week, my friends. I hope that you found this episode to be fun and useful. And if you did, please do me a solid and rate, follow, leave a review, and even share it with a friend. All of this really, really helps me out, because it definitely gets the pod elevated on the platforms so that we can attract more like-minded humans and continue to raise the vibe in this whole wide world, because that's the ultimate goal here, people. We're raising the vibe together. And on that note, I am your host, Lisa Ryan. This is the Joy-Filled Universe podcast, where we come together every week to explore all the tools and tricks that are going to make your universe even more joyful than it already is. And I will see you next week. Bye.